We actually see dynamically created components in just about every demo in this course. But now we're going to go in and explicitly explore how we're creating each of these pieces. The dynamically created components are the widgets that we've seen in all of the demos. You can see I can load different widgets up to different areas of the screen. I call them zones. So I have different widget zones, and I can select which component I want to instantiate inside that zone. The code creates an instance of that component and presents it on the screen. We're actually going to take a look at two different ways to go about this. So over this demo and the following two, we're going to explore dynamically creating components. This piece first is going to explore some of the framework pieces and some of the supporting elements. The next demo, we're going to take a look at the more programmatic approach of creating components using the component factory resolver. And then in the final demo, we're going to take a look at the more declarative approach using ng component outlet. But let's start with some of the supporting elements over in code. So the widget framework, all of the code for this is inside the widget fx folder. We have a widget zone for the component factory resolver. Then we have a separate widget zone for the ng component outlet. So we'll take a look at those in the next two demos. We have a folder where all of the widgets go. We'll take a look at those in just a second. We have some enumeration utilities. We're going to use this really only in the ng component outlet. So we'll take a look at that. We have an interface, an iWidget interface. All it does is say that anything that implements this interface needs to have a widget title property. So when I come in and take a look at my widgets, let's pick content projection, go in and take a look at the widget, it's going to have a widget title property because it implements the iWidget interface. And that interface allows me to treat all widgets generically. They're all an instance of something that implements that interface. Coming down, we have our Angular module. And the only thing that's really different here is that in addition to declaring the components, anything that's going to be created dynamically, you need to specify as an entry component. Other than that, there's really nothing different inside the module. Continuing down, we have a couple of different widget infos, one for the ng component outlet and one for the component factory resolver. We'll take a look at those. We have an enumeration of widget types that's only used in the ng component outlet. So we'll take a look at that then. And the widget fx config is only used in the component factory resolver. So that's kind of the underlying structure and an overview of what the widget framework looks like. In the next two demos, we're going to take a look at the two different approaches for dynamically creating widgets or components inside this framework.